Yes guys, welcome back to another video here on the Andy #1 channel. Today it's #United Training Day. You might be able to see some of the guys training in the background there. I got here a little bit early, need to see Stevie CB, got a bit of an injury, but just thought I'd do a quick introduction for today's video. So we are back to doing a bit of analysis. Now you may remember I might have done one of these videos before with Craig McCree. Today, football's a game of opinions, and today it's my opinion that matters. So we're looking back at the AFC Newquay game. We are looking back at the 3 goals. I mean, generally I thought my performance was actually alright. Did a lot of the boring things well. Took a lot of crosses. We got bombarded with a lot of crosses. Just thought my handling was pretty decent, kicking was pretty decent, but did concede 3 goals. So we're going to look back at those 3 goals, and I'm going to have to see what I should have done if I was to do it again. So roll goal number 1. Okay, we're just going to talk through this brief. It's a decent ball down the line into space, in between Jamel and in between Sam Adams. Centre forward gets onto it, squares inside Rich Beck, tucks it underneath me, rolls the ball into the back of the net. 2-1. Decent goal from the outset. Could have been stopped previously, you think, potentially. But let's have a look at my involvement within this. So this is the ball down the line. There's the big touch by the centre forward. I've come out to try and meet it, slipped it underneath me. Going to show it from a different angle. Backpedaling, decent balance, decent foot movement, and then decision to come, slots underneath. So, looking at that from this angle now. Centre forward's got 1v1 versus Rich. He's turned inside him. He's making a big touch. I'm ready to go. I think that is the right decision. Now, when I've made that decision to go, I've got 2 choices. 1 to smother, 2 to block. I'm not going to get there. I could potentially lead with my hands, go down there, see if I can smother the ball. But in this instance, I've decided to block. Now, I think actually in hindsight, that's most probably the wrong decision. So it's the right decision to come, it's the wrong decision to block. Potentially there, lead with the hands, go in there, try and smother, rather than try and block. Now, there's a couple of issues that we'll see in a minute in terms of coming to block rather than coming to smother with that. So, like I said, there's the big touch by the centre forward. I think that's the right decision. I just think it's the wrong decision to try and block rather than to smother. So if we look at it from this angle, big touch inside. As I come there, I'm still moving and I've tried to block. Now, as I try to block, I haven't, because my foot pattern, I haven't been able to get my knee down quick enough, which then leaves a big gap underneath, which then actually means he can just slot the ball underneath it. So instead of blocking, I think potentially I should be smothering. Because of that big gap, it means that you can just roll it underneath and get the goal. Okay, so goal number 1, potentially should have smothered rather than tried to block. Now let's move it on. Goal number 2. Okay, so moving on. Goal number 2. Now, just run this through first of all. It's a great goal. It's a great strike. He's got such a good connection on that, seeing the ball across took a couple of really horrible bobbles. So first of all, credit where it's due. It's a great strike. There are 2 bobbles that you'll see, and it's such a good connection. Now, I might be giving myself a little bit of a hard time here, but I don't think there are many keepers that would save this, first and foremost, but I do think there are a couple of things that potentially I could have done a bit better. So first of all, ball travels from right to left where we are, and I travel with it. Now, have I actually given myself half a yard? My positioning, is it quite right? I'm not quite sure. Maybe from looking at this, I might be half a yard too far one way, which means then I can't get back. Not saying that I would, but I'm just questioning whether or not I'm in the right position, first of all. Second of all, because the ball's moving that way, my weight transfer from right foot to left foot has to be quick, and therefore I have to dive across. Now, that dive, that transfer right to left, it's difficult, but have I got a big enough dive on it? I'm not quite sure. So, a couple of things there that potentially could work on. Oh, what a strike that was for goal number 2. Still could have done a few things there. Footwork, potentially. Bigger dive, potentially. But there aren't many goalkeepers that would have saved that goal. Right, moving on. Goal number 3. Okay, moving on. Goal number 3. So, let's just run this through. Jamel heads the ball up in the air. Rich Beck gets beaten in the air. Fred Maston goes across. Can't affect the play. Ball gets put into the box. About 7 yards out, free man, tucks it away. Makes it 3-2, 90th minute. I smash the ball away in disgust and we have to watch the fortnight celebration rubbing salt into the wound. So 3-2, last kick of the game. Disappointing from the outset. Doesn't look like I could have done a lot, but I do think actually I might be being overly critical again. There are one or two little pointers which actually would help me in my game in this particular scenario. Okay, so just rerunning this again. It doesn't really show a lot, this angle at the moment, in terms of my positioning until we get here. Now if I freeze it, I think I'm in a generally okay position there. If he strikes at goal, relatively confident I can save that positioning. Now the problem is when the ball gets put across, I find myself 5 yards out, which means I'm 2 yards away from play. There's absolutely no way I could react to that at all if I had the opportunity to save. Looking at that again from this angle, am I a yard too far forward? Potentially, but the movement gets across. I have to move from, in this instance, left to right, so it's my right to left. That weight transfer, as per the second goal, makes it difficult. And from here, my movement takes me forward. It shouldn't take me forward, it should actually take me back. Now if I go back and then the ball gets played, I'll get an extra yard or two, or in this case 4, in order to react to it. It means that I potentially could react to that and give myself more time. I haven't done that, and there's no way I'm stopping that in this instance. Goal number 3, disappointing. I mean, it would have been difficult anyway if I would have got back onto my line rather than being close to the ball. But still, you know, for next time, remember this. Maybe I'm being a little bit harsh myself, maybe I'm not. What do you think? Football's a game of opinions. Like I said, this was my opinion. Does your opinion match my opinion? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching. More content coming to the channel soon. Stay tuned. Don't forget to hashtag it.